I bought these raised beds from Temu, and they're very nice. And there's 2 bars on each side. One's a little bit lower than this one underneath the dirt to hold these things together. They're made out of pretty good tin, and then it has this trellis right here, and it's good width apart. And I've been using, so this right here with this particular wheelbarrow, that's 2 loads with this wheelbarrow. And my mom uses a standard size wheelbarrow, and she's got 4 of those in here so far, and it's not close to being full yet. So, but anyway, we plan on putting kiwis and yarrow and rhubarb. We're gonna try rhubarb in these, and hopefully I can give you an update when those things start growing. So I just thought I would let you know this is actually a good buy from Temu. It was very easy to put together, and yeah, so I have some more from Temu in that box that are the round ones with wheels and also a trellis, and I'll give you an update on that. I plan on putting my dragon fruits in that. Okay, we're also filling these up as well. So the 2 right there I got from Temu. I got that one from Temu and that one from Temu. Actually, those 2 were supposed to be a tiered one, and we realized that we could make our own kind of design with them, and it was supposed to be 3 tiers, a big one, a middle-sized one, and a little one on the top. And then so we made 2 the exact same size with what we had, what it came with, and this was extra, so we made a perfect little round one out of that one. So I really liked that idea instead of having a tiered one. So we have, these are vegetable scraps that we had in the that we bought from the store. We had some onions that sprouted, and we took we cut off the bottom, you know, where the roots are, and then we started the roots started growing, and then those started growing in there. And then we also have the romaine lettuce and cabbage. Now they say, you know, you can't grow from the store, you know, the scraps or whatever. You can, but the thing of it is, though, it's not going to grow like another carrot or another cabbage or whatever. But what happens is these things, they will grow the plant material so that they can bolt or make seeds, flower and make seeds. And so that then you can have the seeds, which you can plant the next season or whatnot. So that's what we've done here. We bought some garlic, and we didn't use it fast enough, and it started sprouting. So we planted the store-bought garlic in here before the freeze came, and believe it or not, they are growing on both of these right here. And then also we took carrot tops that we had cut off from our carrots and replanted the carrot top, and so these greens are growing. And again, sometimes they do grow more carrot roots if you leave them be, but what I'm getting after here is I really liked those carrots, and so I'm hoping for some seeds. So we've got something growing up here. So anyway, but they seem to be doing very well as far as that goes. Interestingly, I have forgotten what exactly, I believe this right here, last spring or early in the fall, I had cut a branch from this orange tree, and I believe it came from here, and I just stuck it in the ground and right next to it, and I said, well, if it grows, it grows. And so apparently it's growing. And then the other thing is a plant that I got from Temu, and I don't remember what, oh yes I do. This is supposed to be a grape. So, and look at it go. This is a Temu grape. And it really took off. It looked like a dead stick when I got it, but look at that go. A lot of the plants that I got from Temu, they are growing, but they're not the plants that that they said that they were. So, but anyway, I can go into that in a different thing. But anyway, so yesterday I planted, I put some alfalfa sprouts here, and I'm hoping nothing got to them, but it may have. But anyway, yeah, there's still some seeds and stuff. I can see there's some little growth, and I'll water this again. But anyway, these are red potatoes in here, and I also planted some moringa seeds that I'm not sure will actually grow. I also planted the moringa seeds around these. I believe I got these two at Costco about 2 or 3 years ago. And then of course it's a cattle panel, and I bought these climbing roses from, I believe, Tractor Supply, and we're about to have a bloom right here, and I believe this is the yellow rose. So we'll see how that one seems to be doing a lot better than this one, but this one has more healthy leaves on it too. So the knockout roses are going. Those are not ones that I had. They were in a pot when I first moved here, and sitting in the pond. And so I transplanted it over here, and then since my mom's been here, she's been taking care of this thing, and it is really, really going to town. And this is a loquat tree. My husband bought 3 of them last year, and I planted this one here. The other one is over there, and we bought that one a couple of years ago, and it was small like this other one, but now has grown really big, and they both have really good growth on them. And our blueberries or some of them are in bloom and beginning to make blueberries. So there's like 5 or 6 different types of blueberries in there, and I've got some that are growing from a root. So I'm not sure these, it looks dead, but it's really not. It's got some buds on it. It's just a different type of blueberry. There's 5 different blueberry bushes in there. And then we have, this is what we call our west garden, and it gets hot over here. A lot of sun, but it only gets sun like about now. So it's about 1 o'clock it starts getting sun. And so my mom planted some squash, and hopefully they're the climbing squash that I like, but maybe the yellow squash also. I'm not sure, I can't remember, but she's got squash growing here, and I'm not sure that these plants are going to come back, so we're going to probably uproot those. And last year we had peppers and tomatoes here. I think we're going to just stick with 1 tomato plant this year, and then put pepper plants in there. And there's some squash growing over here as well, and these, and so those should be going up pretty soon too. Those look really nice. And there's Mom over there still working the farm. Moving dirt is what our deal is today, and filling up our pots and gardens with the dirt, or soil I should say. So also in the last month and a few days ago, which I posted on Facebook, some guys came over and they were awesome. There was only like 3 or 4 hours left in the day, and I'm telling you, they took down, well, my husband and a friend of ours and my son-in-law, they all ganged up on these 2 trees here, and we took those down. They took those down a few weeks ago, and then last week these other guys showed up because these trees were like, you can see where it was cut by these guys. They pruned them, they took all the bad limbs off, and they did all these front trees here, and then they they took down that tree over there because it was literally diseased and it was rotting up at the top, and I was afraid it was going to fall on our house. So they took that one down for us as well. And all the limbs and stuff that they had taken down, they literally they had a mulcher, and that's our mulch right there. From that is just beautiful mulch that we'll use for our pathways and to cover our gardens. Then we have all this other wood that we'll probably cut up for firewood or whatnot, and some of our family and friends have come and gotten some of this wood. There's more in the on the back of the house. And here in the front also, right along here, I bought my mom some flowers that she can take care of. I'm not really good at flowers. I'm better at food stuff, but these flowers you can actually, you know, eat as well, I believe so. Anyway, so I took, and there is my camellia plant. And so I took some starts off of this or some clippings, and I've got them in some soil with root propagation. So hopefully I can make more of these. And it seems to like this side of the house better. And this is mostly in the shade. We'll probably have to relocate these gardenias because they don't look like they're doing too well. I think they need more sun than what they're getting. So if y'all want to make a comment on that, that would be great. So the camellia plant that I have, I don't know why this is in there, but this is it right here. And so it says shade to partial sun. So that's why I planted it over here. And it has been throwing some flowers, but before I can even get the flowers or the seeds or whatever, they're gone. But hopefully I'll get more of them. Here's the blackberries that I planted over here on this side of the deck. This is the east side of the house. And they get morning to afternoon. And I think we're gonna have some berries with this one this year. It's just a baby. And then maybe even this one too. So if the dog will stop chewing on it, it's got some flowers right there. Alright, so on this side there's that wood that I was talking about earlier, and then we could literally use those as little fence posts if we wanted to. And we've got these things we're going to do. We've got plans for all this scrap wood and the scrap wood over there. We've got these avocado trees I bought at Arborgate, and they are beautiful. Or no, I did not buy these at Arborgate. These are Tractor Supply. I did buy some plants at Arborgate, which is another video. It's got an avocado on it. Anyway, and these are in full bloom. There was a bunch of wasps on this thing. I have not seen any like honeybees or anything on it, but now the ladybug, or not ladybugs, those love bug things, which is a nuisance here in East Texas. Anyway, so those are growing. My banana trees are coming back. We plan on removing those that are closest to the deck if we can. I don't know. We're going to have to get a backhoe or something in here to get those out of there. So a lot of the stuff is coming back from overwintering. We've got these kiwi plants that we're going to plant in here and over there, and there's some more of them over there. So these two I got from Temu. That one over there I got from, or my husband bought from, I don't remember where, but anyway, maybe another thing. And already our comfrey is blooming. That is in the pot, and also over there that's in the ground. And so we've got new little plants coming up over there as well. So rosemary's doing good. It made it through the freeze. And I've got, again, a whole bunch of cuttings for the dragon fruit, if anybody's interested. There's the mama dragon fruits up there. They gave us 5 dragon fruit last year. Hopefully this year we're going to get a lot more. And what else do we need to update you on? Oh, these mulberries have gone crazy. And most of the ones, interestingly enough, oh yep, this one does. It has some already on there. Now these little mulberries started off being really small year before last, and they just kind of took off now lately, and most of them have berries on them already. And these look dead, but they're really not. It's weird how they come up, and because I was about to cut this one all off, and then it had all of this blooming, and then I did that front one. It was the only one that I did, and it's blooming all the way up. This one I did not prune. All this looked like it was dead, and actually now it just like 3 days later, because I didn't prune it or anything, I look at it and now it's full of leaves, each one of the things that I would have taken off. And what I noticed is those clippings that I took from that one right there, I actually put in a bucket of water, and we'll see if those are blooming, or I'm sorry, getting roots on them, because mulberry is so easy to start. But anyway, these are loaded with mulberries. I don't know if you can see those, but all of them seem to have berries on them somewhere. And anyway, they're really nice. They're about 5 feet tall now, or actually this one's taller than me. This particular one is taller than me, and the wind is pretty windy. I'm not sure, you know. And this one is going to have really long ones on there. You see how long those are? So those are going to be really long berries, whereas the rest of them have these smaller berries. So, and my mom says that the older the tree gets, the bigger the berry will be. So that'll be very awesome. And we have relatives or people in the family that love mulberries, especially freeze-dried. And being that we have a freeze dryer, yeah, if we can get a lot of mulberries, then we'll definitely be freeze drying them. So, all right, coming over here, we have stuff that was in there. This wasn't, but this one was in there during the freeze. These are castor bean tree plants. I think y'all have seen them on another video, and they're still seeding and doing its thing. I plan on planting these in the ground to see if they'll get any bigger. I have some avocado trees. This will be their second year, and they're growing in here. I planted some seeds from our mayhaws that we got from our neighbors. They let us pick their mayhaws last year, and so I took some seeds and planted them, and there they are. And I have some more in other pots. So anyway, if anyone's interested in getting some avocado trees that you can grow as a house plant, that would be fine. You do have to protect them from the winter, but like I said, these were in there. This whole box was in there for the freezes, and we had in there, we hung a chicken lamp, or one of those heat lamps like that you put for chickens, or you know, baby ducks or whatever. We had it hanging up in there, and it was plenty. Now, believe it or not, all of this is, like I was mentioning earlier about regrowing scraps from your groceries that you buy from the store. This is all celery right here that my mom started in the window, and I can tell you, you can harvest this, and these have a very strong flavor, but they're really good. And so I will probably harvest these and start freeze drying, because we don't eat it that fast. And these are not bolting at all. They're actually just growing new leaves and stuff. And I pray that they do bolt a little bit so that I can get some seeds. Same thing with this cabbage here. Believe it or not, these cabbages, they had cabbages last year. And it was funny, we harvested the cabbage and then it kept growing. So this has a huge stem. I think that's just quite amazing. So, and these are also cabbages from, we did not plant seeds. I just want to say, we did not plant seeds. So these are also from kitchen scraps. So sometimes they will go ahead and grow for you, I guess. So, and then here's some here, but I don't have any seeds, so I don't remember how these got here other than my mom's regrowing things. So this one looks like it's dying. But there's one growing right next to it. It looks like from the root of this one, the old one. So, you know, I'm learning stuff just by natural, just putting stuff down and then seeing how it does. Me and my mom both. Look how tall this head of cabbage is. Look at that. You would think that this is like tree collards or something, but it is not. This is a cabbage. And I think that is just amazing how that is going on there. Say hi, Osita. Okay, our fig trees are coming out. I don't know what happened here. Maybe they need a little bit more water. I don't know. Or maybe that last little frost bite got them. But they're still alive there. And all of those are going good. This is our horseradish. We harvested horseradish a few months ago, or not even that long ago. I don't even think it was a few months, maybe about a month or so ago. And a man bought them from us, and that right there was like little sprigs of what was left over. And then of course we have our asparagus over there too. And I have harvested like several spears of asparagus. It looks like there's more coming up. This is going to be probably a pretty good year for that asparagus, and it's growing really fast. And then our moringa trees, all we did was cover them up, and these are pomegranate trees right here, but all we did was cover these moringa trees up, and they are starting to come back. And there you go, that's the proof and evidence. As long as you keep that root alive, it will come back. We have another one over there that's coming back as well. So but yeah, these each have a sprout, or I uncovered at some point, but you can't see them right now. Like that one, you can barely see it down in there. But anyway, and I can cut these down to the point where they're growing. And these pomegranate trees, some of the leaves fell off, and now they're already full back on. So we're gonna walk over to the orchard. I planted some new trees, as well as the trees from Temu, and I'll show you that here in just a second. We also divided the pasture with electric fence, and we separated the cows. So Sassy would have a break from the bull and her calf, which is weaned now. And then we put this fence up last week. This fence right here goes all the way down there, and now I have a track where I can walk all the way around the whole property, as far as going back there and back around to over there. And eventually we're hoping to have a bridge right here where that little gate part is, so that the animals can cross through there over this ickies. Anyway, here is a fig tree right here. This is a Celeste fig, and it is doing much better than it did last year. Hopefully we'll have better figs this year. Anyway, I'm not sure what happened with our olive trees. That last frost hit these guys kind of hard, but it looks like the upper part of the tree actually died, and then they have new growth coming in down there. So I figure I'll probably prune them as soon as I know what's actually alive and what's actually dead. And so not sure about that one. I haven't uncovered, but we covered all of these with hay. That's the pear tree. So, and it looks like it has two different pears. So we have this one, like is what we bought, the mother tree or whatever. But then there's, I don't know, it just kind of looks different all the way around. But I'm not sure where the graft is. And it got damaged by the mower, I'm sure. You know, nobody wants to admit to it, but anyway, I'm not sure if this will flower first or if it'll leaf out first, but those buds are getting a lot bigger. So, and then these right here are the pecan trees, and typically pecans aren't really affected by the weather that much around here, but they have not, well, that one hasn't come out a leaf yet. This one has, so that's good. That's good to know right there. Look at that. Oh, awesome. Okay, so that pecan tree is doing good. We have 4 of them, and they're all, I think, the same kind of pecan, but I don't know what kind of pecan it is. My mom grabbed some when she first came here. She went for a walk and one fall, and the first fall that she was here, and then she threw the pecans into a bucket and they all came up, and so we planted them out here. I bought that from Arbor Gate. This is an almond tree, and so I'm not sure yet where I want to plant it. So, and it is this one, Texas Mission Almond. So I am praying that this will through our seasons or whatever. Okay, so I've started another line here for another row of trees, which means that pecan or that almond may go right in here somewhere. Anyway, my mom, all this hay from here to there, all that. And she said she planted a lot of different flowers, especially marigolds and zinnias and just different things. So, all right. So this tree came from Temu. It did have some leaves on it. I don't know what happened. We've been watering them, so I don't know if it just doesn't like the ground. I don't know. Anyway, so all of these trees, they're supposed to be different, and they all look the same. There's supposed to be a sapodilla tree. There's supposed to be a mango tree, and just different ones. And I can tell you, they all look the same. They all have the same leaves. All of that is going on there. So I planted them, and they're over there too. We have 2 more loquat trees here, but these trees right here, they all, if you can see, they all look the same. All the leaves are the same, the bark is the same, the color of the stem is the same, and they are grafted. So I really don't know what kind of tree they are. They may be a nectarine, they may be a plum, they may be a peach, is what they kind of, they're from the plumeria family, or whatever you might want to call it, but they all look identical. So that in itself, you already know that they didn't send me the trees that they are advertising, especially when it comes to the mango. This is a fig tree that I got from them as well. This is supposed to be a honey fig, so I'm praying that it is a honey fig. The other fig tree that I got from them looks like that, but it's planted on the other side of the house. This is also from Temu. I don't think it's going to live, or it's not alive, along with those 2 over there. They're supposed to be black cherry. I don't know. So, but this is an apple tree right here. That over there is a nectarine, and it actually is getting its blooms. So it blooms before it leaves out. So the blooms, it's gonna have blooms all over it. So I'm excited that we may have a lot of fruit this year as far as the nectarine goes. These 2 were the Barbados cherries. We covered them completely in hay, especially that one was completely covered in hay. It looked like a big hay pile here. And I'm praying that it lived through that. So I pruned a lot of it off, but I don't know if it survived. So it hasn't really budded out yet, so I'm not sure. This one hasn't either. So we're gonna give it probably a month and see what happens. But that bark, it could sprout back up from the bottom. I don't know, kind of like these olive trees are doing. So this is a mother olive tree that I bought, and it's coming out right there. So I'm assuming the rest of this must have died off. Now these 3 here, when we lived in Magnolia, a friend of ours came and took some cuttings from all of our trees, and that's how we got some of those fig trees that we have as well. He took branches from everything and rooted all of these things. So he's amazing. And this one's growing. They're growing from their roots. So I'm assuming this is dead for the most part. However, there's some new growth right there on that. So I'm gonna wait maybe before I prune this to make sure. And then whatever seems to still be dead, I will trim off or prune off. So that's pretty much it. We've got some mayhaws over there next to the chicken coop, and we have some trees back there. The fig trees back there in the back of the pasture is doing really, really well. And as far as the fig trees go, however, the persimmon trees that we have back there, not so well. So I'm not sure if it's, I think it's probably because back there we don't have a running water back there, and so more than likely it's because they didn't get enough water during that heat. So these are mayhaw trees over here, right there and over there. One of them looks like it's not really making it. The other one looks fine. But I have my little seedlings, And our neighbors are like, you come pick all the mayhaws you want because they don't want them. So, and they have like a whole grove that's as long as my property here. So, but this one looks like it's coming up just fine. This one's supposed to be a wild one, and the other one was supposed to be a grafted one. That grafted one, no. But this one looks like it's coming back. So we'll see what happens with that. So I think that's pretty much it. Hello, girls. And Peep. Peep is our rooster. So anyways, but that's pretty much everything that I can think of now. So, but back to the trees, they trimmed that one a little bit. That big elm, or not elm, oak, it's like a Dutch oak or whatever. They took half of that off. All of this on this side so that it wouldn't fall down across to the neighbor. And the other one I'll show you in just a second. So this tree right here was pretty scary. Since we've been here, it has dropped like a whole tree. It looked like two trees growing out from each other, right? And so this whole one right here was hollow all the way through, all the way out to way up there, and it had dropped some big branches over here. And so, and you can see in here, it is, one of them left their beer can in there. But anyway, it's hollow in there, and it's hollow dropped from there. But if you was to take all of this off, this tree right here is fine. And so, but anyway, they trimmed this thing. It looks so much better. And it opened up the rest of my yard to more sunlight over here. So I think these mulberry trees in the back here will get a little bit more sun, which will probably instigate them to flower more and have more berries. So I'm gonna get back to it. We're gonna finish planting these things out, and I've got yarrow, kiwi, and that one big plant. So anyway, there we have it. Y'all have a great day. Okay, it's the next morning after we've done a lot of planting and stuff, and I think I told y'all I saw wasps on these things. I'm wondering if wasps are what actually pollinate avocados, because they're like all over this thing. So anyway, I just found that interesting. Okay, so we planted this over here. So I've got the kiwi trees or vines right there. I put some rhubarb on the corners, and pineapple right here in the front is center, and then over there along the line right here is going to be some long bean. And then I planted in here what I believe to be stevia seeds, but again, I got those from Temu. All of those seeds were from Temu, so I'm not sure what they're going to be. Same on this one, but I put two. This is a kiwi tree that my husband got from Arbor Gate. The two kiwis over there are from Temu. And these I started myself from the tops of the pineapples. And then over here I bought from Tractor Supply some yarrow, different colors. So hopefully that'll be growing there soon. And then I planted over here some Temu seeds that they said were long cucumber. So we'll see what happens, and hopefully everything will grow up this trellis the way it should. And this morning also back over at the avocado trees, I actually repotted these avocados that I actually started from seed. This will be their second year, and they're looking really good. This one came out to be a triplet, so I'm not sure how well he's going to do, but he was underneath the leaves of all of these, and so maybe he'll come back out when since he's by himself now. So yesterday evening, I finished up with planting these two trees right here. I just want to give this one here a chance. I don't know what it's going to look like or how it's going to do. If it does well right here, then I'll plant the rest of them along here. And I got my blackberries over there, but this is a bottlebrush tree, and so I wanted it kind of like, you know, just like that, and then it's going to grow taller, and I'll keep it pruned at the, you know, the level of the handrails there, and then it should grow pretty tall to kind of cover that and also keep people from running over, you know, going over this with their vehicles or whatever. So anyway, that is the last update that I'm going to do today or for this week. I've done a lot. Oh yeah, and then I planted more trees over there. Okay, so we all know about these trees over here. They're all from Temu, those little ones right there. And this fig tree actually is from Temu. The other fig tree that I got from Temu still hasn't budded yet, but it says it's still alive. I did the little scratch test and it's still alive, but no buds yet. So this right here is supposed to be a honey fig. And that's the almond tree that I got from Arborgate. And there was a black apple tree planted there from Temu, and it died. And then over here there was 2 black cherries right there and from Temu, and they died. So I planted the buckthorn right here. The male buckthorn died, and over there is supposed to be a Temu. It's supposed to be a mangosteen, but the leaves and the stick and everything says to me cherry tree, so we'll see what happens on that one. And my Barbados cherries actually both made it. I'm gonna have to trim all this stuff off, but they're growing from the bottom just like the olive trees are doing. So I will be pruning those as well. So one of the pecan trees back there, right back there, is actually got new growth on the top. The other pecan trees do not. The other Temu trees that were supposed to be mango and sapodilla, and they all look the same. I'm not sure what kind of tree they are. They're all doing fine too. They still have the greenery on them after planting them about a week or so ago. So anyway, that's the update for now. All right, see you guys later.